On data cleaning using Google Colab. My name is Hariga and I'll be guiding you through this session today. So you all must have seen this week's curriculum, week 2 curriculum. We'll be going through, this chapter that I'm explaining is on the third one. We'll be using this particular data set, which is retail supply chain data set. I have already downloaded it, so I'll not be downloading it again, but you guys can go ahead and download it. Next, this is the link to Google Colab. You can also go on the internet and type Google Colab and click on this particular link, colab.research.google.com. So when you first open this one, a welcome collaboratory pops up. This pop-up includes a list of recent notebooks you have worked on, tabs to open notebooks from Google Drive, GitHub or local files. You also have a few example Colab notebooks for different use cases. So if we can start opening a new notebook here. We'll start by giving it some relevant name. We'll call it data cleaning now. All right. Next, we'll be using Code Crafter by U2xAi to generate the code so that we don't have to write it manually. Okay. So once these two are ready, we can start our process. So first, we'll have to upload this data set, which we have downloaded. So there are multiple ways to upload data set. We can use Google Drive. We can mount Google Drive and run a code to use it from Google Drive. We can also use it from our local storage. There are multiple other ways like using a Kaggle API, and also we can use datasets from URLs as well. So in this example, we'll just upload it from my local system. So I'll just take this prompt. This is the prompt that you can use to generate this code. So we'll use it here. So in this prompt, I've asked it to load the CSV file into a pandas data frame called data. All right. So we'll just be running this. Okay, we have an option to choose files. We'll choose our file and wait until it's uploaded. Meanwhile, we'll just go copy this code. Yeah. Okay. Now since this is uploaded fully, we'll just run this one as well. Knock knock. So first, we'll just copy this and paste into our code crafter and press enter. Okay, we have our code here. We'll just copy this, paste it here and run. Here we have an option to choose our file. Just choose it and wait until it's uploaded. Okay, so we have our data set here. So we have all our data columns, number of rows, columns, 15 columns, 73,600 rows, etc. So next step is, so now this uploading is done. Next step is understanding the data. So before starting data cleaning, we first need to understand what we are working with. So in real world cases, you may not be always able to see the data set, like click and open the data set and see the data set throughout. So we need to understand what we are working with using few codes here. So imagine you have a messy spreadsheet. Before making any changes, you just look at what is inside. So what we'll be doing here is we'll be checking the structure, like how many rows and columns, which we already have, but we'll look at the summary statistics, and we'll look for missing data, look for duplicates, etc. So this is the code that we have for prompt, which we have for generating this particular code. So we'll just enter this here. So yes, we have called our data frame data. Yes, correct. So here, for understanding the data, we have code for each task. So this code will give us an overview of the data. So we'll see how many columns are there, what are they called, their headers, what kind of data are inside. Then we'll just run this code. This is to identify any missing values, and we'll see in which columns we have. So we can see that all these columns are fine except for these two. So in demand forecast we have around 2000 plus, and in price we have around 3600 plus missing values. Next we'll see if there are any duplicate rows. Okay, so this data set has around 282 duplicate rows. All of this which we'll take care of later on. Then we can also look at what are the data types, if each of the columns are in correct data types. So we can see that all these are fine. These are in decimals. Yes, all these are fine. Date is in date. The data type for this one is not correct. Except for date, everything is correct. We'll also run a code for getting a descriptive analysis summary of this data set. So this will just give us the numerical columns. So here we can see that inventory level has 73,600 values, rows. But in these two, as we expected, there are lesser number of values. And here also we can see an abnormality, which is that demand forecast is in negatives, like there are negative values, which is logically not correct. Okay, so we have an idea about all the basic understanding of the data. Next we need to handle. So we know that there are missing items, missing values in these two columns. So we need to handle them individually. So we'll be first taking care of the price column, and then the demand forecast, because in demand forecast there are also negative values. So we'll just take a look at the price column. So I'll go ahead and copy this, paste it here, because see here we have mentioned paste missing values from the previous results. This is just to make the code crafter understand our data headers and where is missing. So here we have just entered that we need the code for missing values in the price column. So we have also said that we'll be taking median for this data. So because see in this case, look at this, we have missing values are replaced by the median of all the data in the price column. So this is done because median is less affected by outliers in the data compared to mean. So what you will be choosing, mean, medium, mean, median, what you'll be choosing will entirely depend on your data set and your the type of data that you have in that particular column. Okay. Okay, so we can see that after this, after we have run this code, the missing values in price column are 0. Next, we'll just run this code. So after this step, we can see the negative values in demand forecast column is 0. So here what we have done is we have taken all the negative values and made each of them their absolute values. So -9 would become 9. And in next, we'll just see if this has taken place. So what we'll do is we will sort the demand forecast column and then return the demand forecast column in ascending order and return the top 5 rows. So this will give us the first 5 rows. So we can see that in demand forecast it starts from 0.01, not from minus 0.9, minus 9 point something that we have seen here, seen in this case. Yeah, so this is taken care of. Next, we'll also make sure that the missing values in demand forecast column is taken care of. Okay, so in this case, what we have done is we have used so one thing, demand cannot be negative, and second, demand follows a normal distribution in most of the cases. So what we have assumed, we have taken a mean as a reasonable estimate to fill in the missing values. So we'll just take this code, paste it here. Yes, so all the missing values are gone. We can just, to ensure that everything has gone, we'll just run it again. See, everything has gone. Next, we'll go ahead and fix incorrect data types. So now we have seen that we'll once again run this code just to see what are the data types in different columns. So we'll copy this code, run it here. So this is an issue, and we can also make sure that inventory is in a number format. So we'll just copy this, paste it here. Okay, now we can see the date has been converted into date time format and inventory is in integers, number itself. Next we'll look at removing duplicate records. So now we already know that there are around 282 duplicate rows. So we need to remove those rows. So one thing you need to make sure that if you are using any other data, your data frame's name is different, please make sure that you update it in all the prompts so that you don't get a code that doesn't run. All right. Okay, so this is after removing the duplicates. So you can see that the number of rows has had reduced. Initially it was 73,600. Now it has reduced to 73,380. Next, we'll standardize all date formats because in this data set we have dates like DDMM, YYY, Y and MMDD, YYYY, and we have few hyphens and slashes, all sorts of mixed data formats. So it's very important for us to make sure that the date format is consistent across the data set. Okay, let's just copy this prompt and paste it here. Okay, one second. I'll have to. Sorry, I copied the note by mistake. All right, so we'll just copy this and paste it here. I hope I haven't. Okay. So all the dates have changed to this. So dates are a crucial part of many data sets, especially in fields like finance, healthcare, supply chain, all of that. If dates are not formatted correctly, they can cause major issues like in analysis. Next, now we have cleared the date format issue. Next, we'll see if any white spaces are or case inconsistencies are there. So in our data set, the cases are okay, like there are no issues as far as I see. So we'll just still we have made sure that all the string values are converted to sentence case, which means the first letter is capitalized and rest of the word is in lowercase. And the numeric values are left as such, and the white space removal is done for everything. So while entering the data, if it is manually entered or if two people are entering, so what happens is there will be white spaces before and after depending on how the person types. So this code will ensure that it is removed. Okay, so that's done. Next, we'll see if there are any outliers in the data set. Okay. So I'm sure you all know what outliers are. Outliers are values that are very different from the rest of the data. So imagine if you are going through uh, if your data set has average salary of a team and everyone earns between some 40,000 to 60,000, but one person earns 10 lakh, that one extreme value is called an outlier. Okay, there is some issue in this code. We'll just whenever you okay, the issue is that I'll just I didn't mention that my data frame is called df, sorry, data. I hope this works. Okay, so this has been corrected. By the time you guys access this, we'll make sure that this is updated with this information that my data frame should be called data. So if you guys are using something else, please make sure you correct that. Next, we'll look at typographical errors and how to fix them. Okay. All right, so we'll just take this code. So typographical errors in a data set might seem small, but they can cause big problems in data analysis. So, for example, if you have a data set with customer location and some entries are Bangalore and some entries are Bangalore and some are Bengaluru. So even though they all mean the same city, your analysis will count them as different places, which is why typographies are fixing typography is very important, so that there is consistency in your data set and it prevents creating different duplicate categories. Next, we'll take a look at correcting logical errors. Okay, so that is also fixed. Now our exercise is almost done. We'll just go ahead and save our clean data set. You can go ahead and do your further analysis on Python itself. Sorry, why am I pasting it here? One second. Or you can download it and use it on other tools. So we'll just save it as CSV itself. So we have our save data set here. So this is the entire code. Right. So this is the entire code, and these are the steps. Please make sure you guys try this. It's very important to keep on practicing data cleaning for your interview preparation, as this is a foundation of data analysis process. Thank you.